Hey guys, welcome into All-Jo Madden over here on Picks and Parlays. It is Thursday, September 4th, and you know what that means. We are on the countdown to kickoff, only hours away before kickoff today, and we've got a loaded show for you. Everything that you need to know for the NFL game tonight between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. I've got top handicapper Sean Higgs joining us, as well as Tom Viola. We're going to have a loaded show. So much to go over here today. And you guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. So buckle up. Let's make some freaking money today. We're going to start it off looking at who hurt you yesterday. If you guys were betting baseball yesterday, the dogs were absolutely barking. Looking at the dogs yesterday, we saw a lot of teams really come out nice and strong, and it was amazing to see these teams be able to get those wins. We saw yesterday Cleveland beat Boston 8-1 as a plus 133 underdog. We also saw the Jays and the Reds. If you are betting the Jays to get the win, you got the win there. It was a high-scoring game. That under would have crushed a lot of people expecting that pitching matchup to stay lower, but the Jays winning that one 13-9. We have 22 runs in that matchup. We also saw the Pirates get another win over the Dodgers, and we're going to break this game down today. So make sure you stay tuned for my best bet between the Pirates and the Dodgers to see if we can see the sweep today. We saw the Orioles beat the Padres yesterday, a 7-5 as a plus 158 underdog, and then Washington did beat Miami. That was a 10-5 game, and Washington was a plus 134 underdog in that matchup yesterday. So if you're rolling with any of the dogs, you probably made some money. So we've got so much to go over today, you guys. Make sure you do open your odds logic screen so that you can join us looking at those best lines. We are seeing movement out there. So we're looking at NFL right now. When you look at the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, this is the game that we all want to watch. We did see the total open at 46.5, and across the boards, we're starting to see some pushes to the 48s. Over right now on DraftKings, we're seeing the 47.5. Hard Rock has moved this total to 48. So if you are liking this game to the over, you guys, we will be breaking this down with Sean Higgs and Tom Viola to see what they're liking in this Thursday night matchup. I would get in on that total to the over before you're seeing 48s across the board. Now, when we're looking at that line, we know this one did open as a 7 originally at minus 105. We're seeing now the Philadelphia Eagles at 8.5. Basically across the board. There is an 8 at Pinnacle at minus 103, but you are seeing so many 8.5 out there. Minus 105 to minus 110. Interesting to see the Hard Rock they have one of the highest totals at 48, but Hard Rock does have a 7.5 at minus 110. Again, get those odds logic screens open, you guys, and make sure you're getting the best of the line when you're betting those. So we are seeing a 7.5 out there. I just want to go over a couple trends. We've got a poll up on X as well. I want you guys to go in and weigh in on that poll over on Joe Madden Sports over on X. Let me know who you have winning today. Right now, when we look at this poll, 21.5% of people taking either the Dallas Cowboys at plus 8.5 or at plus 340 on that money line. We're seeing the Eagles, 36.4% of you riding with the Eagles. The over the trend with that total over on X, 26.2%, and the under, 47.5%, 15.9% on that. I'm looking at this game. I've got best bets. We're going to go over those again. Tom and Sean Higgs are going to come in. They're going to give us our best bets that we want to jump in on. But just to go over a couple of those trends before we look at that, I want to point out the Eagles have scored the first touchdown in their last 9 games. So there is also a question up on X. Who gets that first touchdown? Who would you take there for the Philadelphia Eagles to get the first one? Or would you take the Dallas Cowboys? So it's going to be an interesting matchup between these two. We know that trend. The Eagles have won their last 10 home games. We also know the Eagles have won the first half in their last 11. So if you're a little bit worried about the backdoor cover by Dak Prescott and company, the Eagles in the first half would be a nice way to take this. Now, the Cowboys have allowed the first touchdown as a dog versus the NFC East in their last 9. Another strong trend to looking at that first touchdown prop for the Philadelphia Eagles. And the favorite have covered the spread in their last 8 games between these two. So if you're looking again at that favorite, definitely shop those lines over at All-Jo, because like I said, we are seeing a 7.5 out there on one of the books, but most of the books pushing this to 8.5. And the last 4 games between these two in Philadelphia have gone over that total. So we've seen some higher scoring ones. 2 prop trends that I want to give you guys for those bets. Tolbert here for the first touchdown for the Cowboys. He's been able to do so in the Cowboys' last 4 road games. Now, I wouldn't take him for the first touchdown overall, but if you want to take him for the first touchdown for the Cowboys, you're going to get that right around plus 1,500. Right now, you're looking at the first touchdown of the game at plus 3,500. I can't get there, or the anytime touchdown at plus 550. So strong trend to that. And then again, the Eagles have scored that first touchdown in their last 9. But this should be a good one. Seeing you guys popping in here over on X. Ant Bond, nice to see you popping in here this morning from X. Sean Higgs, we're going to talk some NFL today. It's going to be a great one. Let's go. And with that, you guys, I think it's time that we welcome in Sean Higgs, top handicapper from Picks and Parlays, to get his thoughts on today.
Hello. How are you this morning, Joe?
I'm doing great, Sean. It's great to have you back here today. I know we made some money on Monday, so excited to start looking at everything today. I know you have great picks out there on the diamonds, but we got to talk this Thursday night football game first.
Shall we? Let's talk. I got a couple things here. We got the usual stuff. I like the over a lot, and I'm gonna really go after a Philly alternate totals here. So over 33.5 is plus 220, or excuse me, plus $2. 36.5 plus 330. 38.5 5-1. So obviously, I think they're going to score some points. Totals ticked up a bit, as I said. Not crazy. I don't think the Parsons, they weren't good with them. They weren't good last year. They got a new coach. Like, what is this, like the doomsday defense from the 70s and 90s? It's not what this Dallas defense is. There will be points scored in this game. I like a Barkley 2 touchdown, plus 265. He's going to score 1. He's going to score 2. He's getting it twice. That's I don't want to say it's a given. I hate saying things like that. But if he's getting 1, he's going to scamper in for a second one. Maybe in the first half. Team total first half, Philly over 28.5. Let's go. Or not first half total, 28.5, but just as their team total. I think halftime this game could be like 24-14. Dallas will score. Dak, he'll be running for his life because I don't think they have an offensive line, and the running game is a mess. Coming back from injury, is this coach really going to be like, we're going to get conservative? What are you talking about? You got a top wide receiver, and you traded for another wide receiver. There will be scores. And CeeDee Lamb plus 135 is a touchdown. Sign me up. Sign me up for a CeeDee Lamb touchdown here. I love the over. Like I said, we got alternate totals for the team total for the Eagles. The line though here, let's be honest, Joe. If you don't wait till last minute, you could have the Eagles minus 6.5, right?
Yeah.
And you're sitting pretty. This went up to an 8.5, even a 9 yesterday at some spots. I think the sharps in the groups there are probably in a nice little middle between a 6, 6.5, 7, and a 9. They're sitting pretty. Now, the average person doesn't appreciate that kind of stuff, right? Because they don't have the bankroll. They're not, these guys are moving huge chunks of money. The average person's not worried about that. They're going to be on their thing here. Their same game parlay stuff. So be it. I know this is picks and parlays, but I am not a huge kind of parlay guy. I like to say, Joe, when I do my show, best way to go 3-1, put in a 14 parlay. So straight bet the totals. And it looks great, right? You're taking a couple guys to score a touchdown, you get some juicy return. Play them straight. They go 1-1, you're making money. You go 2-1, you're making money. Round robin, at least. At least you go 2-1 in a round robin, you're gonna make some money.
Oh, I completely agree. I love where you're looking for this game to go to the over. I'm riding with the first half over the 24.5. I thought that
Yeah.
number was just too low. I'm with you. I think the scoring starts off right away. You got CD Lamb for the anytime touchdown. If you're looking at the trends with the Eagles being able to get on the board for their last 9 games for that first touchdown, is there anyone from the Eagles other than Saquon Barkley that you'd feel comfortable taking for that first touchdown?
I mean, who? AJ Brown. I mean, and really anybody. If I'm going to do, I don't like the first touchdown, right? To me, it's kind of like, oh, we're going to do home run props. I'm more of a ribby prop guy for middle lineup hitters. I'd rather do an anytimer for a little less because I have the entire game to do it, as opposed to some random fluke play that somebody could get in on a broken play or something. The returns, I just don't think are. To me, I need more than one guy. And if either of those guys don't hit it, I'm like, well, I'm starting 0-2, but if I had an under-timer, I could still offset these. So I'm not a big first touchdown scorer. Who's in like the 7-1 range for Philly or Dallas? Like what's like Jake Ferguson for a touchdown for any two first?
I absolutely love Jake Ferguson for the anytime touchdown.
I'm a tight end guy. I love Cowboys. I like Dallas. I got my Randy White mini helmet behind me. I'm old school. Jay Novacek, Doug Cosby kind of guy. So I'm all for tight end scoring points. But yeah, unless they're 7-1 or something crazy. I'll do the game, full game, or anytime I should say, for a touchdown.
Yeah, you're looking at Jake Ferguson at plus 310, the tight end for the Dallas Cowboys for the anytime touchdown. When you're looking at that 7-1 range, it bumps up from a plus 630 on Jaden Blue for the anytime touchdown for the Cowboys up to Dak Prescott.
Well, so you brought Blue up, so that's just an anytime. What would he be for a first score? So that would be a guy I take because he's supposed to be the running back for them. Mm-hmm. And say they get the ball first and things work out. What would first touchdown for him pay? If his anytime is 6, his first touchdown's got to be better than that.
Yeah, his first touchdown coming in at plus 4,000, Sean.
There, see, that's something I could put $100 on and say, all right, I'll take a shot on that. That would be. That's a nice little return for a guy who's supposed to get the bulk of the carries, right? That's the way you got to look at these things. He's their running back. Are they going to get the ball? That's the thing, though. It looks good. I can see it happening. Am I going to bet? I might have to throw something on it now just because you brought it up. I'm like,
absolutely. As soon as you
mentioned him, I got a blue shirt on. There's got to be some kind of something going on there. I got to put something on the guy now.
Absolutely. I think so as well. So when we look at the quarterbacks, which quarterback do you have more faith in? We have Jalen Hurts. We know dual threat quarterback, so solid with his legs as well as with his arm. He has a passing prop of 212.5. That juice is sitting right around that minus 110 to minus 113, depending on your books. Again, you guys have the Odds Logic screen at oddslogic.com. And then Dak Prescott coming in here. His line's actually moved, Sean, and I'm actually kind of confused why it's moved down. I got a 248.5 for his passing prop yesterday. I took it to the over, expecting him to really have to sling this ball, especially in a winning or losing situation. If he's playing from behind, those deep passes are going to have to come. The books have moved this right around the 244.5. So movement in the opposite direction as I expected.
I know there's a chance of a little bit of a drizzle. Little bit of rain, but it's not. I mean, the rain's not going to really bother me unless it's windy. Now, could that be part of the problem there? Like I said, are they really going to just run the ball to protect the quarterback? I mean, you're playing the Super Bowl champs. You're really going to come out and try to control the clock with Blue and Javonte Adams or Javonte Williams and who's the other guy? Miles Sanders. But that's what we're going to do. We're not going to utilize our wide receiver who you actually paid money to. I don't see it. That's an interesting one there. Maybe they think he's just gonna be on his back the whole game because Philly will get to him with some pressure. But that does seem a little low, right? The team. I mean, you're a sizable dog, and you're going to be behind for all intents and purposes for most of the game. That is a low number for sure, or for not a low number for it to come down. I should say is an eyebrow raiser.
Definitely seen a 4-point drop. So that's a big drop. I just quickly wanted to talk to you about the Micah Parsons trade and if you think that was really an overreaction where the books moved that line to that 8.5. And then I also want to get your take before we move on to baseball on the win total here for the Dallas Cowboys. This is the lowest win total we've seen since 2003. It's dipped from a 7.5 wins down to 6.5 wins. It is juiced to that over minus 145. But that came with the trade of Micah Parsons. Do you think too much reaction here to a defensive player being gone for the Dallas Cowboys? Or is this just a lack of faith in Jerry Jones?
I mean, let's be honest. The line move in this game, that win total is based on him leaving. Mm-hmm. Now, then comes out he's still got kind of injury problems too. Like, let's be honest. Dallas last year was not a good team. The defense was not a good team. I liked them under last year. I liked them under this year anyway. You still have offensive line problems. You still got, I think, running back problems. You got defensive problems. You got a new coach who I think he's in over his head, but he's Jerry's guy. So he's going to be in there listening to the guy, listening to the boss. How do you not like the under here? Now, on the flip side of that, you have a quarterback who could put up some points, wide receiver. You play the Giants twice. You don't know. Let's be honest. You don't know what you're going to get out of them. You might have a step back from Washington, Daniels quarterback. The Eagles line here, I mean, let's be honest. The money's coming on Eagles. It's opening day. We got the banners. It's we hate Dallas. It's just a home, like all that kind of stuff's going to push towards Philly money. The public loves favorites and overs. But on the season for Dallas, I thought they'd have a problem before the season started. I think they have a problem right now as the season's going to start. They have problems. It starts with the offensive line. It was a problem last year. It got your quarterback hurt. Yeah. You're not the quarterback, you're in trouble. You don't spend money on running backs, that's fine. I mean, that was all right when you're Bill Belichick and have Tom Brady. You don't want to spend money on offensive players. You somehow made it work. Not all teams are like that. You got to spend a little money. The Parson thing now, might end up looking good. Do I want to pay that guy $200 million? And he's great. That's a lot of money for a team that has, I think, again, I'm just as a fan, I think it has more holes. Money could be spent somewhere else. You got 2 first-round picks, best player available. Fill those holes up. I in that aspect, as a fan, I like the move. The line moves and the points overreaction kind of stuff. That's the public kind of doing all that stuff. Again, you have to kind of put that stuff aside. You have your own numbers, do things. Again, don't get biased because you take a team total for a year. I'm still riding Royals, thinking I got to get over my 80.5 wins. I need win. You get that mindset, which kind of hurts. But it is what it is, folks. You don't have to listen just because the game's on tonight. I know you want to bet it. You don't have to if you think, oh, that's a crazy line. Do I have to bet it?
Yeah,
you don't. Yeah. Do a touchdown. Have fun with a touchdown bet if you want to just have a little fun. You don't have to jump into a side or total just because it's a game on TV.
Absolutely. You've got to love those touchdown props. And I'm with you, Sean. This spread, an 8.5, 7.5 out there on some books. It's going to be an interesting matchup. For me, my gut feel is this is either going to be a game that goes like our Monday night game that we saw between TCU and North Carolina, where the Philadelphia Eagles blow out the Cowboys, or the Cowboys somehow pull off a miracle win. So for me, I don't love the spread. It would either have to be the dog for a sprinkle on the money line here in the Dallas Cowboys or ulting that line for the Philadelphia Eagles. I just can't see this being a tight one-score game. Do you think it could be a tight one-score game, though?
If it's a tight one-score game, Dak is throwing for 400 yards. I mean, it's a shootout. And that's, again, I like the over. I think Dak's going to put up points. But in the end, I think you're going to get some kind of breakaway, whether it's going to be my Barkley second touchdown where he goes for, it's like 3rd and 2 and it's, 34-26 and they're in striking distance and they need to stop to get a touchdown and 2-point convert. And then that'll be the breaking point where it pushes it to a double-digit win and cover there. But I'm with you. Would it shock me if Dallas hung tough here and loses like a nail-biter? That wouldn't shock me at all. This be like a 4-point game. Them winning, I'd be a little shocked. That would just be a bad spot for Philly because they come in drunk like, we got our rings, we're the best. I can't see that. You're playing Dallas. It's not like you're playing, an AFC team. This is a bitter rival. I mean, let's go back. I mean, come on. You had bounty game. I mean, they were. Let's knock out the kicker in 1990. We're gonna attack Santa Claus. We're gonna laugh at Michael Irvin as he's got a neck. Like there's no love lost between the teams here. So I do not see him overlooking. This is where you want to kick their teeth in. Like these guys are gonna be bad. Let's show them how bad they are. No, Micah, you think you guys are good? We're gonna come in here and roll you.
Absolutely. Okay, you guys.
Love you over.
With Sean Higgs of Picks and Parlays, rolling with a strong over tonight between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Sean, we've got Thursday night football under wraps. Let's talk some MLB. Now we have a 4:10 Eastern matchup between the Phillies and the Brewers. The Phillies giving the start here to Ranger Suarez, and the Brewers giving the start to Freddie Peralta. How do you see this matchup unfolding?
Suarez has been great, consistent all season, very good. Peralta is just on a different level. The dude's been just remarkable. I mean, I have his home splits and stuff like that in front of me. Just look at his home numbers, his August numbers. They're just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, a 183 ERA, and again, ERA, I'm more of a whip and batting average against guy because you can get guys on base and, guys score, whatever. 199 batting average against, a 1 whip. Nobody's getting on versus him. And in August, the guy's got a 30 ERA. A point, and I say 30, I mean it's a .32 ERA. It's not 30 runs allowed. No, 1 run on a homer to start the month, and then that's it. Zeros across the board. The guy's been absolutely ridiculous. I like the under. It was 7.5. I saw an 8. I don't know why it went up to 8. I will take it for whatever reason. Too easy. Sometimes I'll take a too easy one and it'll be bad, right? The low-hanging fruit. Hi, I'm Adam and Eve. Eve eats the apple. Okay, I'll take the low-hanging fruit here on the 8. I don't care. He's just been remarkable. And plus it's an afternoon getaway game, right? For all, these are all kind of, we're out of town, we're wrapping up series kind of games. You might have a guy sitting. You might have a major bat not in the game or gets pinch hit late. It's, we're going to bring somebody in. It's 2-0. Whatever. Let's just get out of here, whatever. I always tend to look at the unders on getaway days anyway. I prefer this to be like a 1 o'clock one. Then I'd really love more guys sitting, but I got 2 guys pitching well. I mean, let's be honest here with the Brewers. They're going to have the best record in Major League Baseball. They're going to have the bye week in the playoffs, and no one's talking about them because they're the Brewers. All they do is win. They just keep winning. Yeah. They just keep winning. This guy should be Cy Young. He should be the Cy Young Award winner, this guy.
He definitely should. So that under 7.5, Sean, coming in at -104. Looking at Freddie Peralta for his strikeouts. Any thoughts on that? We've seen him be able to record 9 or more strikeouts in his last couple of appearances versus the Phillies. You can look at him today. His number coming in at 6.5 strikeouts is +102 to the over. And I think if you're going to go there, you could do the latter. 7+ strikeouts coming in at +320, 8+ at +640. And the books won't give you that number of 9, Sean.
Yeah, especially after we saw like some higher scoring game. We saw 6-3, 10-8. So we got some bullpen work there. You expect him to come in and go deeper into the game and get those strikeouts. A couple of these guys for the Phillies do have homers versus them, but you know what that shows me? That shows me he's challenging. He's around the plate, and the way he's been pitching, they're not going to make that contact. They're going to miss that. That'll be a dribbler down the line or a swing and a miss. So. Yeah, I could definitely do some strikeout prop with you there. You want to ladder it up? I agree. I think he's got to stay in the game off of the higher scoring games lately. So you're going to get your 7 innings from him. Why not get 7 Ks out of the guy? Let's go.
Absolutely. That's coming in at +320. You guys make sure again.
+320 for 7 Ks?
7+ strikeouts at +320.
Wow.
Line me up.
Yeah, that's a good number.
At +640, Sean. So the books are giving us the absolute gift with that.
Exactly, and he's gone for 8, 6, 6, 7, 7 his last for the month. So he's a 7 guy right out of the gate.
Yeah, he absolutely is. So I'm not sure why the books are giving us that much. Maybe it's because we've got Thursday night football on and they're trying to entice some people to get back out there on the diamonds. But one other note on that, strong trend there for the year fee between these two clubs. It has cashed in the Brewers last 5 versus the Phillies. Hard with this pitching matchup, though. So if you want to take a shot on that trend to continue, guys, that's coming in at +104. It's a note, not something I'm going to bet. I can't touch it, Sean. Can you?
No, anything like that, like a plus 105, plus 110, 104, is that really worth getting in front of a guy who's hasn't given up a run in the entire month? Like,
No.
But yeah, he's gonna give one up here in the first inning. Okay, I mean, and then Suarez, I'm always a nerfy, like a no-score guy. I don't care what the pitcher is. It could be the worst pitcher. It could be Patrick Corbin. I don't care who you think the worst pitcher is. If you can't get 3 outs, you shouldn't be a pitcher. And the fact that you're a starting pitcher means you're one of the 5 best guys on your team. Get the 3 outs. I'm all for nerfies. Never a yerfie. No way.
Well, there's a strong trend in the next game. You're going to talk on the nerfy, so we will break that down in just a second. But you're looking at the Yankees versus the Astros. The Yankees are minus 136 favorite today versus the Astros. We've got a total of 8.5 with juice to that over at minus 118. Carlos Rodon versus Javier here at the Astros, getting the win last night as a plus 120 underdog. The dogs were barking like crazy yesterday, Sean. They won that 8-7. What have you got in this matchup for us?
Well, here, the Yankees have been hot, right? Oh, look at this. We've won 8 of 10. Well, you beat up the last place Nationals and the last place White Sox. Really? You think you're back, New York? Let's see how you do versus the Astros. You got the first game yesterday. You want to say bad pitch. You got Toronto, Detroit, and Boston coming up. We'll see how good you are for a second here. I want to leave with the Yanks here with Rodon. He's had a good season, really good season, considering, he's him free. Do you think if they had Cole, who knows where they'd be? This is more, I want to kind of fade Javier here. Like, I kind of like the over. Just, again, the way he's pitching, he's come back. He's got 4 starts this year, only 7 starts last year, 6-2-3 in 5 innings. But more importantly, 9 walks in his 16 innings of work. That is, if you're going to – and the Yanks, as much as they're a strikeout team, you got a couple guys in there who would walk. If you put a guy on base, that's a problem because the whole team's just a bunch of guys who hit homers and strike out. So you don't want to put an extra guy on base in a ballpark like this where we've seen runs. So I'd lean over, probably Yanks as well. But I want to do Javier under 14.5 outs,
okay,
which is low. I mean, that's less than 5 innings. You're thinking, come on, man, you got to go 5 innings. I don't know if he's going 5 innings. I mean, I could see this guy having 5 walks in 2 innings and be out of there after 2 2/3. So I like his under outs, and I'm going to look again. I got a Yankee under. I'm still holding hope out for like a 93.5. It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
But I think the Yanks should be able to break through here. And I like, again, it's a combination of everything. Yanks could hit, Stros could hit. We're gonna have some walks, over 8.5, under with a bad pitcher with his total out. So a bunch of different angles in this one for me. And this is it. You want to do a Yerfie in this one? I'll say all right to a Yerfie in this one. I think both of these pitchers can give up runs.
Okay, and that's interesting because the nerfy is the trend and it's juiced in this, Sean. It's coming in at minus 132 for the nerfy. The last 9 Astros games at home versus the American League opponents have seen that nerfy cash. So the trend looking for the 10th one, but I'm with you. I would go against both of the trends on the nerfy and the yerfies today, expecting the opposite to happen in these 2 games. So you're going to get plus money with the yerfie. I want to ask you about Stanton here for the home run. What are your thoughts on going back to back on bats to hit those home runs? We know he got one yesterday, and you're not getting great plus money on Stanton today. He's plus 235. Do you have a mark where if you're looking at a home run prop, it's just not enough value for you?
If a home run prop, and I'm not a huge home run prop guy. I do a lot of ribby props, and actually this week I've been doing Lindor and Soto stolen base props, and they've been like 350s, 400s to 1s, or 4-to-1 odds like that. For a home run, I need a little more than 230. I know he's good. If that's the case for this guy, I would do something like, how can we get something better out of that? Can you do more than, do 2 or 3 RBI for the guy, right? If he's going to hit a home run, there'll be 2 guys on base, keep driving that 3rd run. Like, that's what I'd look to get a bigger kind of payday, as opposed to the home run's 280. What would 2 ribbies be? What would 3 ribbies be? Or a 3, if you're scoring 3 as a run-in ribby. A lot of sites have runs or ribbies over. You want to do a 3-runner ribby? Like, that's not possible. He's on base, and he hit a 2-run home run. He's getting 3 runs or ribbies, and that's going to be 350. I'd go. I need a little more, right? Because you can look at something and look so good, right? Yeah. Oh, Judge could hit a homer. Altuve could hit a homer. How about Pena? Like, I could do I did actually put a couple bucks on Pena stolen base. It was 5-1. He's kind of near a 30-30. All right, he's stolen like 1 base the last week. All right, it's a new week. He steals a base here. 5-1. I'll take a shot on a 5-1 with a guy who's got 25 homers and 25 stolen bases. He kind of picks his spot. Why not in the game versus, Rodon? I think it's going to be an over. There'll be men on base. But, yeah, for the stand, the 230 is not enough for me. Who's better? Like, why not like a Grisham? Like, he's a guy who's got the same amount of homers as Stanton, but he's not looked at as a guy. His homers might be into the threes.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I love where you're going there. I'm with you. Just not enough value at plus 235 for Stanton to hit that home run, especially when he hit it yesterday. I could jump on that number more so if he wasn't hot yesterday, expecting on a getaway day here for him to just not show up as big. But Sean, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on All-Jo Madden on Picks and Parlays to talk Thursday Night Football and baseball. Do you just want to recap what you have for Thursday Night Football on the diamonds, those best bets for us, as well as let me know where everyone can find your picks for today, your best bets that you have out there.
Well, look at this. They're all up on the board. Phillies under 7.5. Javier under outs. Saquon 2 TDs. Eagles team total 30.5. Look at this. Eagles over 47.5. They're all like that. Look at this. This is the great producer we got here, Joe.
It absolutely is.
I didn't have to like that. Look at this. I was gonna be like, let me throw a bunch of stuff out. It's already out and about. Look at that. I love it. Look at it. You can write it down. This is fabulous. This is what Picks and Parlays new channel is all about here, Joe. Look at this. Don't even have to talk anymore.
Absolutely. So, Sean, where can everyone find you and buy those best bets that you have today?
Right here at picksandparlays.net. Go get it. I'm having a nice little season. You see me on the leaderboard there. The weekly, monthly, yearly number 2 total money. Good baseball season. College football's off to a good start. 65%. I think I'm like 16-7 or 17-7, something along lines. And last year, number 1 college football on the site. Number 1 capper there, total money 1. So got – I think 8 games up already for the weekend, 9 games for college, 11 NFL. I got week 2 NFL posted. Major League Baseball. What do you want from me?
Everything.
You can't get WNBA. No WNBA, no soccer, no tennis. But MLB, football, college hoops, I got you covered.
Absolutely. You guys make sure you go over to Picks and Parlays and check out Sean Higgs for his best bet. Sean, hopefully we'll see you again here shortly on All-Jo Madden.
Whenever you need me, Joe, I'm around. You know that. Take it easy. Good luck, everybody.
Absolutely. You guys make sure you head on over to Picks and Parlays. Check out Sean Higgs for his best bets there. Love where he's going in the NFL today. I just want to turn back to your poll. If you guys haven't gone over to X at Joe Madden Sports, make sure you go over and get your votes in. Just talking X versus the books on Thursday Night Football. We are seeing a little bit of movement here. 21.9% now of you liking the Cowboys, either plus the points or the money line. 36.8% on the Eagles laying the 8.5, and that over under is still sitting pretty much the same. The over at 26.3% and the under at 47.5. We also put out a who's getting the first touchdown tonight for Thursday Night Football. In that one, let's just pull up where you guys are liking for that first touchdown, you guys. It should be interesting to see who can get on the board. X versus the books today, we're seeing Barkley getting the first touchdown from Andy. We've got Hurts coming in by a bunch of you guys. Patrick with Dallas, Gobert, and then Dak and Lamb for the first touchdown. So Dak to Lamb for that passing touchdown out there. It's going to be really interesting to see who can get in the end zone. Bragging rights are up for grabs, you guys. So drop in the comments there who you think is going to get that first touchdown. We got great information from Sean Higgs. We're going to now bring in Tom Viola of Wager Talk. Tom does it all. And Tom, I'm excited to have you on the show today.
Hey, Joe, I'm excited to be here too. And I mean, thank you so much for Sean for the kind words. We're just getting the graphics up. We're pushing pulling all the levers, pushing all the buttons, all of that. But I'm really excited to be aboard here at Wager Talk and really be doing a ton of stuff over here on Picks and Parlays as well. It's exciting.
It absolutely is. And what else is exciting is Thursday Night Football tonight. We heard what Sean's liking. He's loving that over. I'm liking the first half over. I think there's a possibility of a lot of people cashing on some touchdown props. What are you liking? Please don't tell me you like the under.
I mean, the contrarian in me was thinking about the under.
Yeah.
And, we've seen, looking at this game, looking at this line history here, it's really stayed right at that 47.5 mark. Like, I pull up my odds history from Odds Logic here. It ticked up a little bit. Pinnacle had it at 46.5 earlier in the week, but this line has been pretty solid despite that money coming in on the over. I think the number's probably right where it needs to be because I'm really worried about this Dallas team. They can air it out, but man, it's gonna be tough out there for them against this Philly defense. And yeah, Philly can score as much as they want, but at a certain point, they're gonna start pumping the brakes and chewing some clock. And the question is just, are they still moving down the field? And do they kind of call the dogs off? Because Dallas is going to be able to throw the ball, and that really does lengthen the game. But if Philly's trying to shorten the game, we might run into a little bit of risk there with the Cowboys trying to help us get over the total, and we might be relying too much on the Eagles here. But
yeah,
we'll see with this revamped Cowboys offense what they're able to do.
So then thoughts on that first half. Do you expect them to come out of the gate a little bit faster in the first half? One of these teams looking to get a nice solid lead and maybe then calling out the dogs in the second half as they look to run the clock, whichever team is up, because we do have a 24.5 in the first half. That's where I'm going. It's coming in at plus 100 right now, Tom.
Yeah, I think the first half is probably where we're going to see a lot more even paced action here before you kind of see the Eagles try and take their foot off the gas a little bit. But I mean, everything that we've heard about this Cowboys offense going into the season here is just, this is going to be a pass. Like it's going to be an air raid offense almost here. I'm excited to see Dak back just because, like, he can throw the ball around. Say what you want about him, but they're confident in him. They can make it work. You're going into a season now without 2 seasons removed from Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator. I thought that he was kind of the straw that was stirring the drink, but Mike McCarthy was still able to scheme up some stuff last year, even when you started getting the team, once Dak got hurt and the offense greatly changed. I if anything, I'd be looking at in-game the second half under, because if Philly gets out to a big lead, they're going to start trying to chew more of the clock. And that's when you might see this game start to slow down a little bit and the game speed itself slow down, but have a shorter game in the second half here. And start to look at that under for the second half is where I might go on this one.
I like where you're looking there. I love live betting these games. The overreaction in those lines will come, you guys. And especially if we see the Dallas Cowboys all of a sudden go up by 2 scores and you're getting the Eagles grabbing some points, I would jump all over that in this situation. Tom, I want to ask you here, Dak Prescott, the weight on his shoulders this season to really step up and perform, get this team to the playoffs has to be crazy how much weight is on his shoulders. Do you think there's a quarterback out there on the league that has more pressure than him?
I think Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, honestly, like, yes, we already, they have the expectations that Dak maybe doesn't have. And they've also got a lot harder of a job. This is a Super Bowl or bust season for both of these guys where you're saying, okay, we've put the teams together. You've both won MVP awards here. Like, someone's got to go out and take down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and get a new AFC team to the Super Bowl here. So I think that they're the ones with a little bit more pressure. But as far as Dak goes, I almost feel for him. You got the fancy, nice new contract, and that's all great. And then you get hurt in the first season with it. But then the other thing is Jerry Jones comes out in the offseason and says, we're going all in this year. And all in was what? You sign Javonte Williams at running back and you trade your best defensive player in the face of your franchise. Not a great look. And Jerry's the gift that keeps on giving for the rest of the league. But man, if it's any consolation for Cowboy fans, at least, NBA season's right around the corner and Luka Doncic is on your team now.
That is a great point for sure, Tom. Okay, so where are you going? Best bets for Thursday Night Football for you?
My best, I got a pair of props for you, and I'm very, very boring with it because they're both unders, but I'm going Saquon under 93.5 rushing yards. It's 95.5 at most shops at -110, but ProfitX has it at 93.5 at +109. And 100 rushing yards is a lot in the game for any running back. Yeah. And if he's goes by the game script here. They're a touchdown favorite. And if the Cowboys aren't able to keep up, maybe we see a little bit more of the Will Shipley show towards the end here, and they kind of give Saquon that time off. But the other thing is, again, like it's a very high number for anyone to get to. Even Saquon, he burned me on it a bunch last year, but there were also several times where you just don't get to 100 yards in a game, and 93.5 is an astronomical number for a running back. The other one I'm looking at is CeeDee Lamb under 6.5 receptions, -111 at DraftKings right now. The Cowboys actually have some options in the passing attack. That he is obviously the alpha. He's one of the best receivers in the league, but you've got the options if you're the Cowboys to really be spreading the ball around more. And we see that with Dak. He does throw to pretty much everyone on the field. I mean, Michael Gallup was a fantasy relevant wide receiver for a little while in this offense. Plus that Eagles secondary, he's going to be getting the coverage here. And the Eagles are one of those teams that can lock down your alpha receiver. I like the under 6.5 receptions here.
Okay, I like where you're going with all of those bets, Tom. Now we have Thursday night football tonight. We have Friday night football tomorrow night between the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers. We will be live again tomorrow, you guys, to break down this game in full detail. We're seeing still solid threes out there over on Odds Logic for the Kansas City Chiefs. I want to see you guys bet that up to 3.5 so I can come back in on the Chargers. So a little bit greedy there. And then we got a loaded day on Sunday. Do you have anything else for us, Tom, here today?
I'll tell you, you're getting some of those 3.5s right now. They're pretty heavily juiced, but ESPN bet's got a 3.5 out there right now at -120. You're starting to see that number creep up. I'm a little surprised that it's moved off the 3 here. I like the Chiefs -3. I do not like the Chiefs -3.5. Probably staying away from the +3.5. But hey, I'm just on the opposite side as you. But at the same time, the Chiefs do start off a little slow when they're starting these seasons here. So I could definitely see the Chargers doing something. I like what they're doing with that team. I like Jim Harbaugh as the coach. South Point here in Vegas was hanging a 3 on the Raiders, a 3 -110 all week, and I've been slammed and wasn't able to get down and pick that up. I'm pissed that I didn't get that because I like the Raiders in that game against the Patriots a lot. You've got a new coach and a new quarterback, but they both came from the same system. Pete Carroll was Geno Smith's coach. You're going to have the continuity in this offense. It's everybody else learning the offense, but I trust Geno to be able to run this team. Quite frankly, one of my favorite season bets is the Raiders over that 6.5 win total that they have. This is a team that can fight for a playoff spot. I'm not saying they're making it. Their division is so tough, but the AFC West has the best all-around best coaching in football. Like you got Andy Reid for the Chiefs, you got Jim Harbaugh, you got Sean Payton, and now you have Pete Carroll too. That's an insanely stacked division. I trust this Raiders team to be a lot more competent than they were in years past. When they hired Antonio Pierce, I was like, he's going to be gone in 2 years. There's no way this guy does the job well. And sure enough, 2 years later, he's out the door. And then they finally make the right decision in the hire, get Pete Carroll, who is back for pure spite, by the way. That man decided to come out of retirement because he hates Jim Harbaugh that much. He was like, I'm going to coach in his division to beat him. Yeah. So I like the Raiders. I'm a little bit high on them for this season, and I like them in this game. The other one that I'm looking at here, the Dolphins are down to a pick 'em, but you can still find some +1s, +1.5s out there against the Colts. I don't trust Daniel Jones at all. We know who he is. He's a bad quarterback. And this Mike McDaniel offense once put up 70 points in a game. I can't believe that we all watched that game and we're like, holy cow, this guy's the real deal, and this is like the future of the NFL. And it's been all downhill ever since for the Dolphins. But I think that if you give him a little bit more continuity here, they've been dealing with a ton of injuries, especially on the defensive side of the football. But the cure for that is playing an offense that I do not trust at all, like Daniel Jones and the Colts here. I think the Dolphins can go into Indy and win this game.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to be blown away if Daniel Jones is able to drive the Indianapolis Colts to a huge win on a Sunday football. I love where you're going with the Raiders. I think Ashton Genty is going to be so strong in the backfield. They have something special there, and you said it. AFC West completely loaded this season. I feel for the Raiders being in this division because, I think them and the Chargers are going to be fighting it out for a third spot, looking at the Denver Broncos to be really hot this season. And we know everyone has to get over the Kansas City Chiefs there with Andy Reid. So it's going to be a loaded day on Sunday. You guys will be breaking down some more of these games. Definitely tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern here, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Tom, you got anything else for us on the way out the door?
I'd say that's just about going to do it. I honestly, if you're betting a spread in this game tonight, if you really want the action, Cowboys 8.5 feels like the right side to me. That's a lot of points in the first game of the season. Yeah. You're getting more than a full touchdown here. Division rivals, and the Cowboys defense is the problem. I kind of trust the Cowboys offense to be able to keep up a little bit here. I could see them keeping this within a touchdown. It's probably, of course, now going to be a blowout because I said that, but that's my final thought on that.
Yeah, it really does feel like to me either the blowout by the Eagles or the Cowboys somehow find a miracle and are able to pull it off. But Tom, where can everyone follow you on socials?
You can hit me up on TV at work. I'm mostly around on X, but I'm worming my way back into the TikTok world. And of course, you're going to see everything here on Picks and Parlays and over on Wager Talk. On the Wager Talk channel, we've got a show tomorrow. I'm very excited to debut it, but it's going to be myself and Derek Carty of EV Analytics. We're going to be talking props for your weekend. We used to do this show in the past together the last 2 seasons. We're bringing it over here now. Really excited. He's a really smart cookie, and we gave out a lot of winners last year.
Absolutely. We're all going to be definitely tuning into that. Tom, thank you so much for joining us here today on Picks and Parlays for All-Jo Madden.
My pleasure, Joe.
Thank you. Okay, you guys, we've gone over these guys' best bets. I'm seeing all of your comments on X, on IG, on YouTube. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here today. We got to go over, though, my best bets for this Thursday night football slate, as well as my best bet on the diamond. So this is Play It Like Madden, fade or follow. You guys, let me know where you're going. And again, before you put in these bets, make sure you do go over to oddslogic.com. Make sure you get the best of the line. I'm going to give you the lines that I got, but as the day goes on, we are going to see some movement in those lines. So try to get the best of those numbers. But Thursday night football, we've talked about it. The Cowboys are taking on the Eagles. I've got to look at this first half, you guys. I'm expecting both of these quarterbacks to find success straight out of the gate, for the defenses to be a step behind. The first half, I'm going to take over 24.5 at plus 100. This takes out of the equation if the Eagles do go up big in the first half, that they run that clock, really drain the clock in the second half. So first half over 24.5. I do think Dak Prescott, winning or losing this game, needs to air that ball out. It's the way for success here for the Dallas Cowboys. And if they are behind, we know he's going to have those big throws down the field. Now, this line has moved significantly. I got it at 248.5 yesterday. It was at minus 114. If you take it to this number now, you're going to get great plus money because the books have moved it to 244.5. Dak Prescott, I do believe, even though the books are moving the line the opposite way, that he is going to be able to air this out. I know the defense is strong for the Eagles here, but I do think if those holes are coming on their defense today, it has to be in their secondary. I do think they're going to be able to stop the run game here for the Cowboys. I think short passes as well from Dak off. So I'll take him over the 248.5. If you can get the 244.5, of course, take the better number. Maybe sprinkle on the plus money at the 248.5. And then the passing touchdowns, I think, are coming. Dak over 1.5 passing touchdowns coming in at plus 112. I think he's going to get that ball to George Pickens. George Pickens here is one of his main targets. He's got a number of 55.5 for his receiving yards, and I think he can get there. It's coming in at minus 114. Couple of touchdown props here, and I know everything's been Cowboys based so far. I do have an Eagles one, so stay tuned. But the Jake Ferguson touchdown here for the Cowboys, I can see him getting in the end zone. When Prescott is under center, last season we saw Ferguson average almost 8 targets per game. So I think Ferguson is going to be a huge target for him. We know he's a big tight end out there. We're getting his anytime touchdown at plus 290. And then I will look at A.J. Brown here. for the Eagles to be able to get that touchdown. His touchdown coming in at plus 155. Now, it was plus 160 at one point, so you're starting to lose the value in the line. At plus 145, if we see it drop another 10 cents, I would still look at A.J. Brown for the anytime touchdown. You could also look at his receptions. I think he gets there with his receptions, but it's minus 140 for the over 4.5 receptions. So I can't get there because of the juice that you're having to lay. He had a touchdown, A.J. Brown, in his last game versus the Dallas Cowboys in week 17, and he did finish with over those receptions. We saw him also come out really strong in week ones in the last couple of years. We've seen A.J. Brown with 5 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown in week 1 of 2024. In 2023, he had 79 receiving yards, 7 catches. In 2022, 10 catches for 155 yards. So A.J. Brown is a player, and I know a lot of people kind of concerned how he's going to return from injury, but I do think he's going to be a prime target out here for Hurts. And I'm not going to bet anything for Saquon Barkley, you guys. Saquon is a stay off for me. His anytime touchdown is way too juicy at minus 190. And yes, you could take him for the 2+ touchdowns. And would I be shocked? I wouldn't. But during the 2024 season, Barkley found the end zone 15 times, but he didn't score in either game versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know no Micah Parsons now, but I do think we're still going to see Barkley maybe just get the 1 touchdown. And at minus 190, I wouldn't even throw it into a parlay with what we've seen out there. So those are my best bets out there in the NFL tonight. We've got to talk one game on the diamonds, so you guys. 6 games on the diamonds. We've gone over 2 of them. I've got one more game I want to talk here. The Dodgers versus the Pirates. I talked about this at the start of the show. The Pirates able to pull off another upset win, looking for the sweep today. Now they're coming in at plus 106, and we've got a total of 7. The juice to this total on the over. I do think the Pirates have every ability to get the sweep. They've won their last 6 games at home. This could be a live betting situation if you're not finding enough value at plus 106. I'm going to get there pregame, but if we do see the Dodgers go up in that first inning, and we talked with Sean Higgs about that Yurfie kind of market, the Dodgers are a team that you're seeing those Yurfies highly juiced in the first inning. But this pitching matchup, I'm not sure if they will be able to get to Paul Skeens, so you might not get a better number here. So I'm going to take the Pirates to pull off the win, get the sweep at plus 106. You're looking at the Dodgers going to Baltimore tomorrow. This is getaway day. We've got Blake Snell versus Paul Skeens. We know Paul Skeens absolutely fire at home here for the Pirates. He's got a 1.65 ERA and a 0.84 whip. I think he's going to come out nice and strong. We got Blake Snell on the other side. Now, Blake Snell's road ERA, and this is where I'm kind of fading here, the Dodgers. His road ERA is a 3.75. 0-2 on the road this season. And while his overall ERA sitting right around that 2.41, I think the Pirates are going to surprise a lot of people and hit him in that first inning. I do think things settle down after the first inning there for Blake Snell, but the Pirates, for them to get the win, have to hit him hard and fast. I'll take the Yurfie as well in this one. The yes runs in the first inning is coming in at plus 134, and the Yurfie has cashed in the Pirates' last 9 games versus the Dodgers. So I got to go with the Yurfie. I got to go with the Pirates at plus 106. It's going to be a great game out there on the diamonds tonight. But you guys, I wanted to just remind you of my NFL win totals. Still time to get them in. We might have seen a little bit of movement on the lines, but I am rolling with Denver over the 9.5 wins. And talking the AFC West, Tom threw the Raiders over their win total, and they probably get there, you guys. Lots of people down on the Raiders this season. I believe that's coming in at a 6.5, and I'm going to get it in right after this show because I'm with them. I was kind of leery of putting it in. I didn't want to take too many teams in the AFC West, but I got to go there. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers over the 8.5 wins at plus 105, as well as the Saints to the under 4.5 wins at plus 100. But that has been our show today, you guys. We've had Sean Higgs in. Make sure you go grab his best bets over on Picks and Parlays.com. We also had Tom Viola in. Check out his show tomorrow on Wager Talk. You don't want to miss out on that. But we will be live here Monday, Thursday, and Friday. So that means we got a show tomorrow, and I can hardly wait for another show. We'll be talking the Kansas City Chiefs versus the LA Chargers. Remember, you guys, if you see a 3.5 for the Chargers between now and tomorrow, jump on it. Justin Herbert against the spread as a 3.5-point dog or more has gone 11-2-1 against that spread. I'm looking for that 3.5. Will I lay the juice at -120? I will if push comes to shove, but I'm hoping some people come in on the Kansas City Chiefs. That public money bets up the Kansas City Chiefs. I just can't trust Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid on the road in Brazil on hopefully a better field than last year, but who knows what that field's going to be like versus Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, and the Chargers in Brazil. So you guys, we'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern here on Picks and Parlays, on YouTube, on X, on Instagram. Thanks so much for joining me here today. Let's make some freaking money, guys. Stay hot.